welcome to the Abiding CEO podcast where faith meets business. I'm your host, Betsy Mejias, the trauma therapist turned life coach turned business coach, but most of all, daughter of God. So today I really feel led to share this message. And if you can remember anything, is the future looks bright. Ironically, that's the message I have for someone out there who maybe is feeling sad, hopeless, like a burden, stuck, trapped, unsure about the future. Just know God can turn your situation around. We know He works things together for our good. And the topic that I wasn't going to do, but I really feel I have to do is let's talk a little bit about suicide. You might be saying, well, why suicide? I've noticed a trend. And you hear the statistics, but as a mental health therapist, I'm seeing it on a regular basis. Just the increase in suicidal ideation. In general, the country is experiencing an increase in suicide completion. And when someone chooses to die by suicide, they're taking matters into their own hands. I don't even like this topic. Look at me. I'm messing up. Let me just say what I got to say. It is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I know when the walls are closing in, or maybe you have pressures and expectations, and just maybe the business isn't going so well. You find yourself isolated from your friends. You don't know who to trust because betrayal is a part of the process, let me tell you, when you're in the thick of it. But all that to say is it's not over. You're not alone. We know that suicide also goes up during recessions, during tough times. And your value is not determined by the financial success of your business. Your value is determined by God, that you are a child of God, and not the bank account, right? Not the negative review on Google, right? Not the gossip, the lies. None of that applies. And I was just thinking about, okay, what are some examples of suicide? Briefly, I was reminded, right? Elijah, he has this huge mountaintop moment on Mount Carmel where he proves that God is God and he's worth serving and outperforms to God's grace those that worship Baal, proving that that's a false God. But right after that, all it took was one threat from one evil woman for him to run. And it tells us that he asked God to take his life. Of course, God didn't take it. God allowed him to be where he's at, met him, fed him, and encouraged him for the journey. And that momentary suicidal ideation that Elijah was experiencing, thinking he's alone, thinking it's not worth it, thinking all the other prophets are gone, passed because God met him where he's at. Then the other not so fun example is Judas. And the irony about Judas, it makes me, not that I'm Jesus, but it makes me think about the people who have betrayed me, personally and in business, but it happens in business a lot. And I hear it across the board, right? The general contractor who has a 1099, who underbids them on purpose to get the deal. The hairdresser who opens up a salon across the street, starts stealing business. Therapists. It happens amongst therapists. Betrayal is part of the process. Now, you can let it be just a small part of your story, like Elijah, who eventually, even in the midst of his darkness, prayed to God, or like Judas, who took his own life. So at the end of the day, betrayal's not fun. Business has its highs and its lows, but the future still looks bright for you. So I don't know what you're going through, but if you need help, talk to somebody. If you need clinical help, mental health, find a therapist. If you need somebody to just come alongside you during a tough time to help you make order out of this chaos, or to just find peace as you're leading this business from a clear mind. So let me talk a little bit about that. If you're in a depressive state trying to run a business, it's not going to work very well. It might only prolong your depression. You need to be alert You need to be in what we call a calm and regulated space. Calm and regulated means your brain is functioning how it's supposed to function, that you're able to problem solve, that you're able to execute, that you're able to make decisions and have those conversations, good or bad. You need to show up. You can't be so agitated that it's creating conflict with your team or other businesses, or the other way around. You're withdrawing, you're not showing up, you're not responding to emails, and you're self sabotaging. And then for some of you, it can look like an end, but it might just be a pivot and God's trying to send you in another direction. What the answer is for you, it's going to require discernment. And I say this because I'm passionate about this. I honestly believe that our business is our mission field. And if God called us through it, He's going to see us get through it, whatever it is you're facing. And if you're listening to this and you're like, Betsy, but I'm fine. Okay, cool. Keep marching on. Glory to God. Keep helping people. But if you're not okay, please do something about it. Get help. You can even text 988, or you can call if you really want to call 988 and get the help you need. Because again, it is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. This will pass. You're not a burden. People will miss you. You are loved by God. You are special, and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Connect to the vine, and let's just all be good branches. Love you guys. And I know it's an awkward episode, but I believe it's going to bless somebody. Talk to you soon.